Well, I'm done, guys, with these particular Osprey day packs. But first, how's it going, everybody? My name is Dave, and this channel is called Off-Grid. I'm into backpacking, hiking, camping, and gear, and today I'm going to be talking about two specific Osprey day packs that I am now done with and will never revisit again. Let me get into all the good stuff for you guys. I'm going to get into the tech specs, the price points, the pros and cons, and all that kind of good stuff. So let me just dive right in. I'll make this a super long episode. If you want to check out a little bit more detail on the Osprey Talon 6, I did a what's in my day pack video. You can check that out right up here. But let me just get into all the reasons why I'm never going to be using these things ever again. Let's head over to the first item that I have for you guys, which is in this nifty little package here. This is, they just call this the Osprey Ultralight Stuffable Backpack, I think it's called. If not, I'll throw it up on screen. And it literally comes in this tiny package here. Let me open it up and show you guys. Yeah, there you go. Takes a little bit of finesse to wrangle it out, but here it is. I think this is an 18-liter pack that actually has a decent amount of good features. So let's get into the pros on this guy right away. Actually, first let me get into the price point. I think I spent $32 on Amazon for it. I'm not sure if you can actually get this model anymore off of Osprey's main website. But basically what it kind of resembles are those drawstring, you know, like gym bags almost, that you see a bunch of people carrying to the gym. To the pros on this guy real quick, there's a lot of smaller features on this that kind of make it good. First, we have the water bottle pocket right here. It's stretchy. It can fit a 1 liter. It's not super huge, and if you bend over it will probably fall out, but it can fit a larger size bottle in here. I know, because I've tried. So that's pretty decent. The fact that it has a water bottle pocket is really nice on this. It has 2 zippered compartments on it. The one that is closest to your back right up top here has the stuff sack that you kind of like fold it into, but it also has the standard Osprey key ring right here, so that you know, you can clip your keys on it and keep track of those so you don't lose them. It's a really tiny pocket here though. There's not that much space in there, so kind of like your essentials, maybe like some sunglasses, your wallet, and like I mentioned, keys, stuff like that. But that's just the smaller top compartment, and then you also have the bigger compartment right here that actually has 2 zippers on it, which is nice. You can access it from either side, and it's literally just that's it. That's all that's in there. It's just an open compartment. So that's pretty much it. You only have like the 3 compartments there, but it's pretty nice to have that on a day pack. The other thing that I liked about this is that it has these straps on the sides, so you can kind of adjust it up or down, so that's pretty decent. The other thing that I really like about it, probably the main reason why I got it, was not only for the name, because Osprey's got a really good name, but also because of the weight. I think it only weighs about 4 ounces, maybe a little bit less. So super light, easily compacts down into a very small package. I was thinking about potentially using this as a day pack for when I make base camp for a backpacking trip, but that never ended up happening. Took it on a couple of day hikes, and I hated it. Oh, one more pro that I forgot to mention about this is that it is made out of a 40D nylon. So it actually is a higher denier nylon, which is really nice. Should hold up a little bit longer. The stitching seems to be okay on it, although I haven't used it that much, but it doesn't feel that thick. And if you ever held like a 10 or 20D in your hands, you know how like paper thin it feels. So I guess this does feel a little bit thicker at 40D, which is nice, but that's pretty much it for the pros. So let's get into the cons real quick and let you know why I'm gonna end up ditching this guy. The first of which is, first and foremost, the biggest reason why is that comfort needs to be king, in my opinion, and this is just super uncomfortable. One of the main reasons why is that it doesn't have a sternum strap running across the top here, so if you have any kind of weight in this whatsoever, it kind of just sags to the bottom, right? Because of the compartmentalization, there's nothing really there to keep stuff up higher except for the smaller compartment up here. And then there's no load lifters or anything like that on this either, so and there really is no padding on the shoulder straps either, so it's really just a fine mesh right here. They're really tiny shoulder straps as well. So after about a few miles, you're really gonna feel that weight digging into your shoulders. Another con that I have for you guys is that, and this is more of a personal anecdote, is that I personally just don't like to have stuff on my shoulders for a day hike. So the fact that this kind of like rides like a traditional backpack isn't one of my favorite aspects. I like to be a little bit more lightweight and a little bit more nimble, and having the backpack on strapped up over your shoulders kind of weighs me down a little bit. So I prefer more of the lumbar style of pack for a day hike to make me a little bit faster. So that is just a personal con for me that I don't like about this style of day pack. And then the last con that I have for this pack is the fact that it sort of goes along with the Pro, right? Is that it has a water bottle pocket on one side, which is nice. Not all of them have this feature on a day pack. However, it doesn't have it on the other side, which basically means if you're carrying at least, you know, half a liter or a liter, and then you're going in a few miles, you're gonna feel that weight distribution leaning to one side, unless you have a bunch of stuff kind of like counterbalancing that on the other side of the pack. So overall, very uncomfortable pack. Definitely not gonna be using this again. And I only took it out on 2, maybe 3 day hikes before I was like, I'm done with this. And I didn't even really go that far. It was only maybe like 4 or 5 miles for each hike. All right, now let's get over to my primary day pack for the year of 2021, and that was the Osprey Talon 6. Had done a lot of research on this one. This is actually my first foray into a lumbar pack for a day pack, and was really excited to get this one in. I decided to go with a bolder color with the red. Comes in a few different colors actually, and there's actually a lot of features on this guy. I haven't really dug into all the different creature features, so we might as well do it right now. The price point on this, I got this at $60 over at today's sponsor, I wish, backcountry.com. I got a decent deal on it, and was really excited to get it in. Like I said, let's get into the pros of this backpack real quick. It is a 6-liter pack. It has hip belt pockets, which are really nice, and you know, it's not something that you see in a day pack really that much at all. I would say it's very rare to see that. It has it on both sides. It also has a decent padding, I guess you'd say, throughout the back here. It's got a little bit more of a firmer padding along the back of the lumbar right here, and then it also has padding on the sides where the hip belt pockets are. Actually, I'm going to say that this is more of a wash, because the padding is there, but it's not very substantial, so it's not something that is going to really cushion the blow when you're out on your day hikes. Let's get into some of the other pros about it. The front or the back, depending on how you look at it. We've got 2 straps on the front. There's actually a decent amount to like about this pack, but these 2 straps can come in handy for strapping down like anything from, you know, a sweatshirt or your rain jacket or something like that. It has, let's see what else. Let's get into the water bottle pockets now, and they have 2 half-liter water bottles that come with the pack, which is really nice as well. They actually work really well as well. They have, I don't even know if they have an O-ring. I don't think they do, but it doesn't. I've never really had any problems with them leaking. They fit into the pockets really nice, and I've never really had an issue with them falling out either when I'm bending over or whatever on trail. But what they also come with, which is another nice feature, is this shock cord kind of like on the side. So if you really wanted to, you could just put the cord around the bottle like that, and you for sure are not going to have these water bottles popping out on you. So that's another really nice feature. The other one I wanted to talk about was the standard Osprey key ring, which is in the top compartment here, which is right along a mesh pocket, which kind of divides the main pocket with the outer pocket. And in here you can just fit your smaller stuff like wallet, keys, maybe sunscreen, a chapstick, stuff like that. And then you have the main compartment here at the top, which has zippers on both sides, which is nice, so you can access it on either side. But it's just really the main compartment here in the back, and that's pretty much it with the pros that I have to say about it. There's other features here that I'm going to get into for the cons now. And one of the biggest ones that I have right off the bat is going to be the hip belt pockets. Now, even though it's nice to have these, they're kind of cumbersome to use, a little bit harder to reach around. You definitely can't pull this closed when you're wearing it with one hand. They are both mesh pockets, or they have a decent amount of mesh on them, so the whole pack is not waterproof. It's another thing about this as well. And the pockets overall are a little bit small, So even with like a standard size cell phone, it's kind of hard to get it in and out, especially if you're like constantly snapping pics or whatnot. The other thing that I really didn't care for, I actually didn't even know what these were. I think these are tension straps here on the side. They only have one, first of all, on each side here. But what this, I believe, is supposed to be used as is to adjust the ride of the pack on your back when you're wearing it. So if it is riding too low, you can kind of tension those straps up so that you can pull the weight closer to your back when you're on trail. So yeah, if you can call these tension straps here on the side, I don't think they work particularly well, mostly because they ride up right alongside each side of a water bottle. So when you try to tension them up, it's really kind of just going around the water bottle rather than doing what it's supposed to do, which is adjusting the weight. All right, another con that I don't like about these are the water bottles. So oddly enough, a pro is also a con. But one of the biggest things that I don't like about this water bottle, and to be honest with you, I think it's really the only thing I don't like about it, other than maybe, the fact that it's not insulated, it's just kind of like a standard water bottle, is the fact that it doesn't stand up on its own, right? So they fit perfectly along the side of the pack, so kind of like in the grooves of the pockets themselves, and it's kind of shaped this way in kind of like a curved formation here so that you can maximize a little bit more of that 6 liters of interior space. But it's also another con in that if you have both water bottle pockets in here, you're kind of pressing up against the sides of this inner compartment here. So if you have something that is like really jam-packed in here, it's going to be a little bit harder to fit these water bottle pockets in here. But I never really had an issue with that because I never really put a ton in it, because you really can't fit a ton in this pack either. So that's definitely another con, is the fact that the water bottles do not stand up when you go to take them out. You kind of just have to always have them in the holsters here if you're just going to have it stationary. I guess you could put it on the table on its side, but then you risk it potentially leaking. So that's another con that I see with this pack. And then the biggest con that I have with this pack, one of the biggest reasons why I am ditching it to the curb, is this thin little strap that they have here for your front strap. It's very difficult to get this in an ideal spot on your body when you're walking on the trail. The total thickness of this is maybe an inch, maybe a little bit under. It's really not that wide at all. It only has the one clip over here on either side, so you can't really tension it from a top or bottom perspective, which when you're talking about a lumbar pack, the ride is really what you're looking at as far as comfortability goes, and this doesn't really do a lot to make it comfortable when you're walking on trail. So never really had an issue with the clip. The clip is not super sturdy, not super durable, but I never really had an issue with it coming out or anything like that. But it was just very difficult to get this pack to ride comfortable. I've always found that if you put a little bit more weight in this, especially when you're first starting out and you've got a bunch of water in here, it definitely seems to sag. I can't really tension it up that much. What I really ended up going to ultimately was putting this clip a little bit higher up, like closer to my belly button, in order for it to be in a decent spot, which never really felt comfortable either. I always felt like I had to tension down the sides quite a lot to get it to stay, which again in turn makes it more uncomfortable, right? Because you're just constantly like hammering that down, and you're feeling more pressure around the midsection. But those are the big reasons why I am finally ditching the Osprey Talon 6. I'm going to be doing a first look at what I'm going to replace this with coming up fairly soon on the channel, so be on the lookout for that. But that's pretty much it. I think overall, from a cost perspective, this is actually not that bad. 60 bucks is really not that bad in my opinion for a pack of this style. $32 for something like this I think is a little bit more on the pricey side. You can pick these up for closer to like $10 on Amazon, but it's basically the name that I ended up buying here. But yeah, the price on these really aren't horrible. I would say definitely more so on this guy than the Talon 6. But, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think, I'm going to be using these at any point in the future. Hopefully I can get rid of them on Gear Trade or something else like that. But that's it. I am done with these two particular Osprey day packs. Doesn't mean that I'm done with Osprey forever, but I'm definitely done with these guys because I don't want to use them anymore. Mostly just too uncomfortable, and I can't really deal with that. You have to make comfort one of your utmost priorities when you're out in the backcountry, and these just don't cut it for me personally. But that's it for the Osprey Talon 6 and the Ultralight Stuff Sack Day Pack from Osprey. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, please consider giving me a thumbs up, subscribing down below, sharing it out to anybody else who you might think could use the information, and then also clicking that bell notification so that you can be aware every single time I post a new video. And again, if you want to check out the what's in my day pack video of what I normally put in this guy, and then what I'm going to be putting into the new lumbar pack that I have replacing this, then you can check out the video right over here for that one. But until next time, guys, if you're heading off-grid, make sure you do your research and you make it a safe one. I'll see you guys later.
Some lady got all pissed off. She's got to realize that
Stuff like that. Lip chap. Wow, I actually said lip chap. Shout out to Justin Outdoors and all you Canadians up there.